The best Air Jordan of all time. Let's say it real quick in unison.
Like our pick?
Yeah, 1 second, and then we're going to get into this.
Okay.
Oh, man.
1 second. No, at the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Three.
Jordan
4.
3. Really?
Okay.
4?
Okay.
I'm all in on the 3. I'm all in on the 3. I love the 4, but I feel like a lot of people could argue the 1. And where
There's an argument for the 1 for
But,
sure.
but for the longest time, there was the biggest argument for the Air Jordan 11 being the greatest Air Jordan.
Okay,
of all
so
time.
that's
Yes,
another
for
sleeper.
sneakerheads, for sure.
Not even a
Sleeper.
sleeper.
You
That's
can't
not
call
a
it a
sleeper.
sleeper.
Not even a sleeper. The one in where we just mentioned 1, 3, and 4. The 11 is in that as well.
I just think it stands out because 3 and 4 are, for better or worse, like kind of the same shoe. Not 100%, but
Similar language.
yes. 1 is just it's like the basis of what you would call sneaker culture, in
the U.S., the foundation.
Yeah. I mean, I know a lot of people say Air Force 1 as well, so don't want to just gloss over it. But the 1 obviously is the one that kind of like founded it, like a lot of the hype and everything that we see these days. So that's there, and it's just such a simple shoe design. But the 11 is like the outlier to that because it doesn't fit in the mold, but it's just such a big Air Jordan shoe to begin with.
Let's start here, though. Which out of those 1, 3, 4, 11 have the best?
Is that the top tier? Is that the S
I
tier
think so.
of Air Jordans?
Well, hey,
I think so.
1, 3, 4, 11. We can't put 6 in there?
No, that's the thing.
No.
That's what I'm saying.
Great.
But it
I don't
depends.
think so.
I feel like it depends on the
You
era,
have to choose
though.
your kid which one you
Yeah.
love the most,
Yeah.
which is tough.
I love all my
It
sons in the
depends.
game.
Exactly.
It depends on the era, though, because I feel like there was a time period where Kanye was wearing the leather pants with the infrared Air Jordan 6s.
Yeah, Aqua
Classic.
8s.
The 2000
Aqua
retro. That, hey, the 6, people would have viewed the 6 as like a surefire.
But
not the
in
best.
not in that group, though. Amazing.
And I think it's okay to talk
Amazing.
about how the way these things change over time. And like the Jordan 11, still a gigantic Jordan shoe. It's still such a huge moment in the calendar year. December Jordan 11 releases. There's nothing like it in the world of sneakers. But I just feel like the Jordan 11 is not as celebrated culturally as a whole as it was 10 years
people still
ago.
love it.
They do.
People love it. But I really think we should start here, honestly,
okay.
for some organization.
Okay.
1, 3, 4, 11. Which of that model has the best OG colorways?
Best OG colorways: Air Jordan 1, Air Jordan 3, Air
Look.
Jordan 4, Air Jordan 11. I mean, you could say Air Jordan 1 because there's a million of them. There's 17 original
And they all
Air
hit.
Jordan
And they
1
all hit.
colorways.
But I don't think
But the threes.
they hold on. I feel like they
I love this. We're arguing. We could just
no.
argue.
I feel like when
Yeah,
you talk
yeah.
This is
about
where
OG
we
colorways, like you say, there's so many, but I feel like you can't really factor in, even though they are OG, like metallic orange Air Jordan 1s. You
Why
know,
not?
they are OG,
Part
but
of the catalog.
there's it's just like so many. But I feel
For
like
the
you kind
one.
of have to narrow it down to like the Chicago.
the marquee ones,
the bread,
rather than
the-
Yeah, Royals.
OG
Yeah.
ones as a whole.
Carolina,
Yeah,
All slappers.
absolutely.
or maybe even Carolina's like that's like
An outlier.
Okay,
a
but,
little bit.
but let me ask you this.
It's not the first thing your mind goes to.
Let me ask you this. Probably my favorite shoe of all time. Oh, it's not here anymore.
Black
Different
cement
set.
4s.
Black Cement 4s.
Mhm.
But those OG colorways, Black Cement 4, Military 4,
White cement.
White Cement,
Fire red.
Fire
Fire
Red.
Red.
However, the 3 original colorways, Black Cement,
Mm-hmm.
my close second, 1A.
Of all
Wait,
Jordans ever.
What's a better shoe though? Black cement 3s or black cement 4s?
I'm melting. This is yeah.
I like Black Cement 4s later in life.
I've-
Black Cement 3 to me is still like, yeah, but that's my guy.
Yeah.
That's my
You-
guy.
do you
But
know-
hold on. Let me stay on this.
That's what I'm staying on.
3
though.
original colorways. White Cement
Uh-huh.
3, Black Cement 3,
Uh-huh.
Fire Red 3, but here, True Blue 3. Banger!
Yes.
True Blue
But
3
it's a shoe,
is a
but it's a shoe
banger.
you don't really love though, right? 'Cause
I
it's-
do
True
love
Blue
it.
3, I'll take that over Military 4.
Okay, so
Even
now
though
we're getting
I wish,
somewhere.
I wish the top line on the midsole were a little bit
What,
different.
what I'm trying to say is when you compare the two though, because I feel like they're the most like 1-to-1 comparison. If you try to compare black cement 3s and black cement 4s,
Okay.
right? Because they're the similar design language to the shoes, similar color palette to both of the shoes. Me personally, I like Black Cement 4, and one of the reasons why I like it, and it's maybe to no fault on its own, I feel like the Black Cement 3 has just informed so much of the footwear industry at large, where there have been so many just like knockoff versions of that design language just dispersed even through Jordan Brand.
More so than the 4.
And I feel like the 4 just kind of, it looks cleaner.
You know what? He's 100% right. When you see all respectfully red with cement print, there was a lot of cement print throughout the years on
the
Jordan
elephant print
3s.
specifically. The
Elephant print,
that's
cement
done,
print,
I mean,
same thing or no?
Same thing.
Okay.
Sometimes people don't like it when you say cement print.
Correct
Whatever.
me, keep me honest. He's right. He's right because the Black Cement 3, to me, you hear like the sound effect of like the light beaming down. But there's been a lot of iterations where they've used it that I do think
It's watered it down a little bit.
A little bit.
It's still, trust me, it's
Yes.
still one of the greatest shoes of all time. I'm not saying that, but if I just had to pick between the two, I feel like the Black Cement 4 just feels a little bit more special.
What about the Black
because
Cement 3 dunk?
Let me-
Journey's dunk.
let me
Why'd
say-
you do that?
No.
Come on.
Yeah, we don't need that sneaker
I
anywhere
was
near
in
the
the
conversation
mall.
about the
I was in
greats.
the mall. I grabbed the Annie Ann's pretzel, and then I saw those at Journey's, and I thought for a second, oh, wow. And then it came to my sons, don't do that.
Thought better.
which shoe do you like more of the two?
I'll say this. I'm going to give it to the 3 if we're talking about
Black Cement.
Black Cement 3, sure. But just like, I'll put the 3 in general higher than the Jordan 4 on the greatest Jordans of all time list for this reason. You have to give space to the Air Jordan 1, even though it doesn't look
for sure.
Yes.
that different to the
Yes.
shoes that released around it at the time. The color
The
story
dunk,
we know
yeah.
about, band, etc. But you have to give it that space partly because it is so foundational. And you have to give the nod to other models like the Jordan 3, the Jordan 4, the Jordan 11 because they look so different and they look so unique and they advance the design language. But to me, the Jordan 3 is the balance of that because it is also foundational because it begins the Tinker
sure.
Hatfield era
Yes.
of Air Jordan
But-
where
And the rumors that it
where-
saved him from jumping.
Yeah.
Yes, and like the Jordan 3 is foundational in that way, but it started a new language for Jordan Brand. Sorry, Jordan Brand didn't exist yet. It started a new language for Air Jordans in a way that the Jordan 1 didn't and a way that the Jordan 4 didn't. Maybe you could say the Jordan 11 did, but to me, the Jordan 3 is special for those reasons, among many others. And for that reason, I'm going to say Jordan 3 over Jordan 4 in general.
One more thing. You know, in Jeopardy, when they're trying to
Ken Jennings with it?
look at this murderous row.
Yes, Joe's showing us
Look at this murderous
set of Air
row.
Jordan 11s.
Bread 11s, Cool Gray 11s, Space Jam 11s,
It's a harder
Columbia
shoe to
11s,
wear. It's a harder shoe to wear.
Concord
What I'm trying to
11s.
say is that I feel like when you talk about the Air Jordan 1, it's just interesting because I feel like when we debate what's the best Air Jordan, I feel like it's not just this like static, always true ranking of it. I
Yes.
feel like we become, I don't want to say prisoners of the moment, but I feel like the era that we're in kind of changes our perception on these shoes, right?
100%,
So,
and it should.
Yes.
like the Air Jordan 1 now, maybe 5 years ago, everyone might say the Air Jordan 1 is the best Air Jordan of all time. But then the Air Jordan 1 has been rinsed
a lot.
to complete end over the past handful of years. So it maybe now that changes our perception.
Shoe isn't as special.
Of
We
the
saw
shoe.
it way too much.
But you're saying like Air Jordan 11, so special. But if we're talking about why it feels special, at least for a lot of
Not a
modern
lot.
sneaker collectors, was late 2000s, early 2010s, that like run of playoff Air Jordan 11s, Space Jams.
I can't tell you how bad I wanted the Space
Concord,
Jam 11s
Cool
in
Gray.
2009. I can't tell
What
you.
a time. What a
Ugh,
time.
How much time I spent on Nike Talk refreshing
Bay.
the thread.
East
Didn't get a
Bay,
pair back then.
looking for the last pair.
And that's why, to some extent, and I feel like this is a whole like millennial versus Gen Z debate.
Don't get us in trouble here.
I think people would say the one.
No. That's
sorry.
not where I'm going with this.
Oh.
Where I feel like that's why people get upset when we say that the Gamma Blue 11
Oh.
isn't great, because if you
I'll
remember,
die on that hill.
that
Yeah.
first run of playoff Space Jam Concord Cool Gray, and then you get hit with the Gammas,
I will die. You can
But-
bury my bloody
the amount
body
of
on that
disappointment,
exact
the
hill.
amount of disappointment in a lot of sneaker collectors when that was the next one up.
Yes.
Versus like if you were young and that was just one of your first memories of the Air Jordan 11, I can understand why you thought that shoe was great.
Mhm.
But if you were like 20 years old buying all these shoes, you're
Yeah.
like, maybe I didn't want that one.